Hi folks, welcome to my Bit Retro Journal. Today I'm going to look a bit more at my IBM ThinkPad from, again, this came out in 95, 96, and I used it I think it was 2000. I originally wanted to, so I do actually have the floppy drive that comes with it, and it's a nice slimline one. I mean, it's beautiful, and so basically this hooks up to the left side of the IBM ThinkPad, and it has a specialized cable which gives it its signals as well as its power. And initially I thought, well, this is probably just a slimline version of just a normal floppy drive, but if you actually look underneath, it says that it only uses 5 volts power, which, and I think most floppy drives, you put that you have on older machines used 12 and 5 volts. I think 12 for the motor and 5 for the moving the head or reading and writing. So yeah, if you know sort of what's special about this drive, or where it only needs 5 volts and not 12 volts, is this something that with the right cable could it be hooked to? Could I hook it to my QL with a disk controller, a Sugar disk controller? Could this be hooked to the QL by just giving, feeding it some external power and there's the right wiring. But yeah, so it's an external floppy that came with this machine when I got it. And the reason I actually wanted to take it out, you can see I have an MS-DOS 6.2 disk, is I have this flash path which came with my Olympus camera, which I got rid of the Olympus camera, but this is a pretty cool device. It actually is battery operated, so it's got two 2016, I think they're watch batteries. And what it does is it takes a smart media card, which are bigger than, this is an SD card, and smart media cards are actually almost twice as wide, thin cards that, could hold, I think you could hold 32 meg or more of memory. And so I used to use that to transfer pictures from my camera to my ThinkPad. And it worked really well, and I wanted to just demonstrate that today, but I can't find the card, so I don't think I gave it away with the camera. If I did, maybe I would have kept one, so I might have to go out and purchase another one. I thought I kept one though, so I have it sort of sitting around. So the reason I wanted to play with this is I wanted to see if I could, could I get it to run on my modern Windows 7, because I do have a floppy on that. Don't know if the device drivers would actually work with that, since I think they're designed for Windows 95, Windows 98, and Windows ME. But could I get it to work on my QL if I emulated MS-DOS? Because I think there's an MS-DOS driver as well. So that's something that I might want to try in the future. But I was going to, give it a try in this floppy drive and demonstrate that to you. But I can't find the actual media, so that is a no-go. But still nice to have, and I think it should still work. So then the other thing that I'm going to work on today, so I have a CD here, and the CD-ROM drive does work, and I copied Basilisk and the QLAY, the QL emulator, and the Mac emulator on here. So I'll try that out later today in my video. But at first I want to do networking. So I came across these two networking cards. I've got True Mobile and this Xercom, which sounds really odd. And this is actually a Ethernet and phone, and then it has this really odd connector that almost looks like USB, but it's not USB. I think this card came out in the late 90s. I found this one first. I'm like, oh, well, maybe I could just plug it into Ethernet. But actually, I found the True Mobile card, and this is actually, I think, the one that I used. It came out, I looked on the internet, it came out in 1999. I think I got it in 2000. This manual, I had a bunch of them eventually. I think this manual is an older manual, older revision. I think it's late 2000 print. And I also have the software. But it's already installed in here, I believe. So what I want to do today is actually install this True Mobile wireless card into my ThinkPad. And it's actually going to go right here on the side. There is it's going to go right in the top. And it's just going to, basically, it's going to stick out just this much. Right? So just this much is the only real estate you have to get up, because I think it'll sit in all the way in. And this is also part of the antenna, I guess. And yeah, and so let's see if I can't surf the net. So what I did with I do have a wireless access point. I set it to WEP, which I know isn't great. But it's only temporary. And I gave it a 40-bit encryption key, which means it's a 5-character password. So 5 times 8 is 40. For 128-bit, they have it 13, which I don't understand why it's 13, because that's not 16 would be 128, but they just have the key being size 13 for. So I did a 5-character password because just less to type. I think, and it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to install this in here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm not going to. I mean, it's just plugging the card in, but I'm going to resituate the camera again in front of the computer so you can see the screen, and then I'll play with configure it, and then we'll use Windows Explorer, I think it was 6, to see what we can surf, if we can actually hit the network, modern network. That would be kind of interesting, and see what still works in 2021 with again 20 years ago when this stuff came out. I'm sure a lot of things aren't going to work. And then again, I'll end with just putting this CD in and running some software just to show you that as well. But I wanted to do networking. So let's see if we can't get this old 1995-96 on our modern network. I know it's going to be WEP, which isn't great, but most, I've got I actually have 2 wireless access points and both supported, so should be good to go. So let's do that. I'm going to switch camera angles. So I have the cards installed, because you can see right down here, it'll tell you that PC card status, PCIMCA. So now what you need to do is, with Windows 98, you actually had a control panels folder, very similar to the Macintosh. And the first thing you have to do is go in here under wireless and set up. So I have already 2 in here, but I'm going to add a new one. Call it 2021. Network type was going to be an access point, and the network name I can scan. It's called Wireless N. And then we want to say enable data encryption, use alphanumeric, and the key is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we say next. Off, no power, plugged in. Renew IP address, we should probably renew IP address. And okay. So then the other thing is you have to go under network. And this is kind of look a little bit familiar to modern ones. It's just a dialog box now. But we're going to go under Tcpip Properties. And this is where you set all of your obtain IP address automatically. That's what we want. And that I don't think we didn't hard code a gateway in there, and then DNS. We just give it a host name ThinkPad. Yeah, I think this is all still default from when I had it back in the day. So we're not giving any IP addresses. Okay, I think we're good. We don't worry about Wins configuration, bindings, none of that stuff. Oh, IP addresses is what I meant to click. Yeah, obtain them automatically. Okay, so I think that's good to go. One way to check to see if this is actually working is to open up command prompt, which I think you get under here, MS-DOS prompt, and you can type ipconfig. And the default gateway is the wireless access point, so that's right. Good. So let's see. We might actually have a connection. So I'm going to close this up and open up Internet Explorer, and let's see if we can actually get, again, 1995-96 machine with a 1999 wireless access point, but there were other ones before that. I know I had an older one at one point, which you saw last time under, because I had a couple of wireless drivers installed. But yeah, let's just go to google.com see if this works. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So we are on Google. Look at that. That's pretty cool. So I don't know. Let's search for news sites. News. Google search. Let's see if we can get some news sites. Google News. All right. Google News. And what does it give us? Yeah. So I think this is the page you're going to get when things don't work. What else do you have? CNN, NBC. Let's try that. Yep. Not going to get ABC. Yeah. Unfortunately, now they might. Some of these sites have mobile web versions. So can you go to? Let's try mobile.cnn.com. Sometimes those are simpler. Or cnn.com mobile. So just having to try to find maybe what I should do is, there is it looks like it does exist, but it's taking an awful long time. So I don't think this is going to work. So what you need to find is a very simple web page that. So I think this is sort of the. I don't think it's going to work. I'm going to do AP News. Maybe that's actually a little easier. Associated Press. Ready? Here we go. No. But let's Google mobile news sites. Yeah. Let's just change. So Google works because it's a very simple mobile news. Mobile news sites. Top 10 mobile news sites. Best app on Android, 60 bars, 10 best news aggregate, best ways, best top 12 news sites. Well, yeah, so unfortunately it doesn't give you anything. Actually, let me try this. zxsimulator.orgfree.com. That's my webpage. And it works. Haha, that's funny. Of course, it's not going to load DOSBox, which you'd have a DOSBox window here, but it does load because, the way I wrote this, it's a very simple web page. I must have given it a width. So it's a very simple web page, and I do create very simple web pages. I don't think YouTube is going to load. Let's try that. And it does not. Yeah. So there's not much surfing you can do. Let's try one other thing. I do have, so one of the programs I had a long time ago was Secure Shell, which I think is on here. Yep. And this, I still use this to this day. It's actually no longer available. People use PuTTY now. I like this one better because it has a built-in FileZilla. So I know this will work because I use it on a daily basis. And it's just an SSH client. On some modern Linux boxes that have more security layers than what, or maybe a newer SSH server, this may not work. But let me actually, I think I'm going to have to just go to flip to this so you can't see. I don't know if I remember the, I can do quick, no, I think I have it. Yeah, let me forward ahead so you don't see my login information. And here we are. So let's clear it. Yep. I can, yeah, let me move the screen a little bit. So this is... The stripes on the green is just horrendous. So this is a little better. Okay. So yeah, there's just, because of the angle that I'm recording this at, it's just, that's not so bad. So here we've got, yeah, so I can do Emacs. This is my favorite example. Escape 15. There's the F1 key right above the Escape X. Hanoi. This used to be my test program when I wrote my own terminal program on the QL. I would run this just to see how it fared with regard to doing the control characters. So yeah, and again, I use this program. I use this program for actually still currently today. Same, maroon on light gray background on my current Windows 7 machine. And again, the reason I like this is that it has this it's a file transfer window, which basically opens an SFTP window. PuTTY has a separate SFTP program, and what this does, like FileZilla, it gives you a window where you can drag and drop from your Windows machine to your Unix machine or server, whatever server you log into. So I think that's pretty cool, and that's why I like it. But so yeah, so this is at least so this is very useful, and so at least I could do this, and I actually use Pine as one of my mail programs for checking my old school account. But as far as, let me open up, where is Internet Explorer? It's right here. Let me just move this off from the side. Oopsie. Yeah. Just to not have it be so... I mean, the stripes, you see those stripes. I actually don't see them on my screen, and I don't know a good way to actually eliminate them. So it's almost like I want to keep things away from this side of the screen. When it's dark, it's not so bad. But yeah, so I don't think I'm able to, let's go back again to Google. Yeah, the stripes sort of disappear when it's all a lighter color. But I don't know, unfortunately, any other web pages that I could try on this. I don't think ESPN.com is going to work. Yeah, all these. I doubt Facebook is going to work. Yeah. What other? Yep. I'm running out of ideas here. MySpace. Does that still exist? Misspelled it. Or how about this one? Friendster.com. Precursors to... so I don't think that exists anymore. So let's just stop it. Boom. Yeah, so I'm sure there are plain old text-based... how about if I just Google... text-based web pages. Text-based web pages. Links. Wikipedia. That might actually work. No. Wow. Look at. Well, is it? Do I need to maybe stick an H in front of this? Make it secure socket layer. This can do secure. Does not work. That's a little sad. But certainly 12 best text-only browsers. I don't want browsers, I want websites. Fabulous text-only websites. There we go. But I can't get to it. I mean, this is a page. Unfortunately, oops, you need to have the ability to read these web pages to get to the list of, oh, maybe I can get it from here. What if I just copy this, paste it in here? Let's do a new window. There we go. So they don't have tabs, they have windows instead. And then paste that in here. Does that give me them? There we go. Yay. Browse this first website. Browse the first. Learn. Home of the first website. Oh, CERN. Right. This is the first website. Yeah. So there are still some sites available, but they're kind of boring. Text. Oh, can you just go? No. So the websites themselves can't. CERN text-based web browser, Linux text-based. Yeah, unfortunately, my search isn't that great. Text-based website. Websites. Oops. And search. So Linux is still friendly, but not. Yeah, but does Gray Coder, is that going to let you know? So it's interesting that that doesn't let you do it. I know I saw open a new window. How about doing it this way? Yeah, oh, it's very sad it doesn't come up. Huh? Yeah, so obviously after almost 20 years, it's hard to surf the net with an old window. Now, I'm sure that I could. I'm sure that I could find a. Oh, here it goes. Yeah, I'm sure I could find a better web browser to run on Windows 98 that might even be still kept up in the modern sense to surf the web. And it's not something I'm willing to do today, just because we're in the middle of December already. If folks like sort of me poking around an old 95, 96 laptop and surfing the web, put it in the comments or like this video, and I'll do another one where I'll literally try to do modern browsing on an old 90s computer. CNN Lite. Oh, here we go. This is what. Yeah, so this is a perfect page. Open new window. So yeah, so this makes you open new windows. There it goes. I'm on CNN. Wow. Yeah, so I knew there was a light version, and so this does work. So, I mean, you're losing a lot, but there's no. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, I mean, if that's all you got, BBC Lite, a weather, NPR text only. So it's funny they have like CNN. You surprised that CNN is there. I mean, Reuters and NPR and BBC, and this one does not. And this isn't working either. So all right, I'll give up on that. But anyway, we got some stuff. CNN Lite worked, interestingly enough. So you can get your news from CNN if you want. So yeah, SSH works. And I knew that because I still use that software. But, this is, as I said last time, if I think I closed them all. But if you look at the browser and do an about, help. This is, I think it's version 6.0, yeah. Cipher strings, 128-bit. I mean, if it's AES, you'd think that should still work, but it's unclear. But yeah, I'll probably do a follow-up on this next year to see if I can find a browser that might work in Windows 98 that can do more of the modern things. Now, certainly, if you Google, I think this is still tied in because it's just going to google.com. I think if you go, I don't know, Christmas, since it's coming up. Christmas imagery. Oh, yeah, and then you put it under images. Yeah, you get all the images kind of work. So again, you can have some multimedia stuff, and that part still works. Obviously, the video stuff is not going to work. Here's where you're going to run into trouble, because most of it's going to be YouTube. And I don't think any of these things are going to play. I think MP4s can be played on this, but nothing else. So I doubt we're going to get anything. I doubt any of this stuff's going to play. Let me find a video that I could potentially play. There we go. Doesn't do anything. Okay. All right. So the last thing I wanted to do, besides having gotten this on the network, which is pretty cool. Again, think late 90s specifically, because I know I had a wireless card that was like 98, I think. So late 90s, and you know, can still I think because this card's in 1999, and you can still read some stuff on the modern web. And again, an old Internet Explorer doesn't help. But the last thing I want to do is I have this CD, and I'm going to put that in the CD drive, since this does have a CD drive. And what this drive has is, now I burnt this on my modern Windows machine at 8 speed, and I thought that it's not accessible yet. There it is, I think. Yeah, so it is available. So what I want to do is I want to copy these strings, Basilisk, QLAY. So let me come back to that, and then I'll just run both Basilisk and QLAY. And yep, copying ends up being pretty quick. So I got them all on here. So let's try Basilisks first. Video port is I do have another PCIMCA card that allows for be able to record video on this machine. So I can get that out of storage as well, and maybe do a future video on that. But let's say Basilisk. So this is when I upgraded my from my Mac to this, I had Basilisks, and that made me feel comfortable that I could actually run this without worrying about whether or not I would lose my all of my data and stuff that was on my Mac. And if you've seen my video channel, this is actually the Basilisk that I've used on my Windows machine, on my modern Windows machine. And you can see that it boots up. And yeah, this is running Mac OS 7.5, which I think has a date of 95. And actually, I think when I used this actually was slightly faster than my original Mac 2 SI, and very compatible. So I was very happy with this as a substitute for my old Mac. And so I felt like, getting a portable computer. And yeah, so if I go under About Macintosh, and I did have a PS2 mouse for this. Yeah, so this is 83 to 95. And I think I gave it 16 megabytes. So yeah, this runs all the stuff. And again, if you've seen some of my videos where I actually use this exact emulator, it was actually the exact image of that emulator. I guess it's not under utilities. Where's Globe? Under MISC? Yeah, there's Globe. So I've used that as an example of multitasking and how it worked on the Mac versus how it worked on a QL and other places. So you can see it works. I mean, again, it's not as fast as it is on my and on my current modern Windows 7 machine. And one reason I use actually the other emulator, I think it's called VMAC, is because you can actually slow it down. You can't slow down Basilisk. But again, Basilisk work perfectly fine on this machine, and I felt like I could read all of my old documents, and that was the most important thing, getting to my data and my old programs. Keep moving everything. I hate doing that. So let's close that down and shut this down. And then what I want to also show is the QLAY emulator, which again I use. All right. Let's close this up and open up QLAY as the final one. And here it's which one? Oh, yes, it's the one I run. And it does take up the whole screen, so it doesn't give you, I guess it doesn't give you the window. I think there's a way to do that though, so. I see. And I forget how to exit out of this. Maybe you can't. Control-Alt-Delete. Yeah, it gives you a task manager, and then you can actually just close programs. This is actually the one I use for, so this might not be the Windows version, so it does take up the whole screen. I don't know if there's a way to, the configuration file is this guy right here. Let's see if this works the way, yeah, it does work the way you want to expect. You want to open up with Notepad. There it is. Tells you that you, well, where does it tell you? Oh, these are your directories. So that's the ROM you're using, and these are directories, sub 1, sub 2, and sub 3. And yeah. But it was a handy one to have. I didn't use this very much back in the day. But again, still, like I said, I wish that you, I don't know what's in here. Are these yeah, QLAY. To look at MDV files. But again, just to start this up one more time. And so if I go, so there's a program in here. Oh, I see, it just does a list. Try run, L run, win2, hello bass. Didn't do anything. But if I go 10, print hello world, 20, go to 10, run. Right, so that works. And then save, win1, hello bass. And now, I don't know how to quit out of this. Keep having to do it this way, which is kind of sad. So the question is, under sub 1, will there be a hello bass? Yep, there will not. Here from the future, I sort of figured out finally how to run it. The problem was with the actual file names, because they had the DOS file names as opposed to the Windows file names. Right now I'm running the a little program called Amiga Ball, and it's running much faster, I think, than it would be on an actual QL, but it kind of shows that the QL can also do the Amiga. But let me show you. So I've also learned that Control-Alt-Shift-X gets out of that. And just to show you the problem, if you look at the names of the files, they're kind of losing their, you know, I fixed some of these, but some of the stuff, this should be RAM_RD_bass, and it doesn't finish because it only goes maximum 8 characters. If you look here, you can see that I've changed these that otherwise would end in Mantle Demo. This probably should be Mantle Demo_bass right here, and that's why it's not working. So finally figured it out and got it to work. In any case, I will end here. Go check out some of the other DOS Ember videos out there. They're fun and educational, and I've been enjoying them. So I'll see you next time.